Welcome back.
The three-way call.
With Britt Fallon Star. Hi, lady.
Hey,
Morning.
good
So,
morning.
good morning. I thought we would talk about a fun topic today, marriage.
Ooh,
Yeah. So we're all, in our mid-30s. We've all been married. One of us is still married. Um,
yeah,
and I know we have three completely different relationships, viewpoints, all of that. So I thought it'd be fun to just talk about our experiences.
would love this topic. Yeah.
You maybe more than Britt and I.
Oh, marriage.
Yeah. So, Star, you're still married. Britt and I are divorced.
Hmm.
My divorce was horrific. Brittany's amicable. She still talks to her ex. They have a great relationship. So, I would love to know, like, how, Britt, you went into getting a divorce and still being close with your ex and you guys having that friendly relationship, because I feel like most people can't do that. So I admire you for that. And
Yeah,
Oh man.
girl.
How did we get there? It wasn't like that at first, that's for sure, because there was a lot of emotions, obviously. I really thought that it was going to be like it's off. I'm done, like I'm out, you're out of my life, period. And it just didn't happen that way. I think a lot of it has to do with how things or like what transpired, I guess. There was nothing really bad from the outside in, even on the inside. There was nothing bad about our relationship. We weren't fighting all the time. We did stuff, there was nothing bad. I don't have anything bad to say, right? Like to me, everything was fine. And so for everything to have transpired the way it did, it was very much like blindsided, so trying to be angry, well, being angry, I should say, because I was just naturally angry. And then trying to stay angry was very difficult because you kind of very easily get back into like how things were, which were just normal, which were fine, which were good. So there was a moment where it was turned off, and that was before we filed. And the reason we didn't file for a long time is because neither one of us was ready to do that. Like
mm,
that was official, that was done, all that stuff. So I think having that time to like calm down is what allowed us space to be there for each other through the process. And I think that if we didn't have that time and if we weren't there for each other, I think things would be a lot different for me now and for our relationship now. Like obviously, I don't think we would be still civil now.
right. Were you guys living together still when you were going through a divorce, or were you already separated?
Half and half. So initially, once I like kind of found out everything, he left to stay with his friend. I stayed at the house for a while. Then he went to visit his mom for a while, and then he came back. And I think, I think since the day of separation, which I'll just count that one day, we separated, and then he didn't come back until close to his birthday. So like around September. There
Mm.
was probably like 5-ish months where we were out of the house. And then we tried to work on things or see if we wanted to work on things by him coming back to the house. And then we filed the following spring.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I forgot that you guys were actually trying to reconcile
Yeah.
before.
Actually, even after we decided to um, both move out of the house, so neither one of us stayed in the house. We both decided to move out of the house and work on it that way as well. So we started therapy then. And then things just like sort of hit a head where it was like, I'm not budging on what I want now. Like,
Right, yeah.
not gonna happen. And there were things that he didn't want to budge on either. And so I was like, it is what it is. And then our dog passed away. So
Hmm.
that also put like a pin in it. And then we never went back to the pin.
Mm.
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 Yeah, so like it kind of was a little bit weird at that point. We were there for each other when he passed away,
Mm.
especially like it was his dog that he brought into the relationship, right? So it was like since a puppy, he had him since he was a puppy. So that
Yeah.
was really, really hard.
Mm,
Um, so that did pull us a bit closer together. And then eventually, yeah, it just slowly, we separated more and more. Like I was busier, I was having my own life, I was doing things, you know. He was
Mhm.
visiting his mom a lot, staying kind of with her. He needed that like family time.
mm,
And I think that allowed us to be a little bit more friendly
Mm.
in that space and be there for each other in
yeah.
that way.
Yeah, I love that for you guys. I so admire that. Like it's so rare to have that relationship after a divorce, you
I was
know?
gonna say the same thing. Like of all my friends I can think of who, or even just like celebrities, housewives, I can't think of any that have really made it be like friends after the divorce. Nothing comes top of mind. Like,
Mm,
yeah, none of the
I
no.
would say like it's really not easy from my side. I think that sometimes it is because again, I forget. I forget and I just it's we've always got along in this way that's just comfortable. So sometimes it's just I get comfortable and then I remember.
mm,
Yeah.
And then I think about it, and then I feel like, well, especially lately, I think we still are. I wouldn't use the word great. I
Hmm.
think it has a lot to do with like, again, I just feel like I've just recently gone through another death and rebirth over
mm,
like the Capricorn full moon. Like I feel like something shifted in me, and I was like letting things go that just don't belong or that still make me feel some type of way. Like, while I need to work through those emotions, is it healthy to have what's causing those emotions still in my life?
Right.
mhm,
Right.
So,
Exactly.
right now, there's a bit of a riff because I'm also very vocal and honest with him about it all the time. Like,
mhm, I'm sure, yeah.
so right now there's a little bit of a probably an awkward riff. Like he doesn't really know if he can be the same as he was, like reaching out to me as often as he was, and that kind of thing. So he's always very respectful of that. Like if you know need that, I understand that kind of thing. Um, and I don't know how to take it either because it's still like he was still an important part of my life.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he always will be. Um, and it really makes me so sad to think to cut him off forever, you know,
Mhm,
to just
Yeah. Yeah.
not talk to him, have that open communication that we can, where I could just reach out to him if I need him, or just to say, send him a funny thing, you know, on the internet or whatever. But um, so it does make me feel sad to do that. But I also believe that sometimes those things need to feel sad.
mhm.
Hmm.
And like that's like the completion of the grief, you know?
Yeah.
Oh
So
Yeah.
yeah.
so it's still a dilemma
100%.
sometimes. It's not always easy. It's not always a walk in the park for me, but for the most part, we've been able to get through this stuff together. I think it was very helpful and beneficial for me emotionally to have him there through the process of grieving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that's like, so have that. Mine was the complete opposite, but my marriage was just, very tumultuous the entire time anyways. But, like my ex and I were still living together, but for me, like I knew I wanted a divorce basically all along. I,
Mm.
I when I talk about it, I always say like I deep down I knew I should have never gotten married to him. So, I paid the price for that one, but that's what you get for not listening to your gut. But
Yeah.
um
And Val, how soon into your marriage did you feel it? Like, oh, fuck, what did I do?
whatever negative, like whatever rewind backwards, like the earliest I could have felt it is when I felt it. Like I knew before we even got married that I just was we had such a strange circumstance. Like I basically let, I was living in Old Town Scottsdale and he was living in deep Santan Valley, so the commute was like an hour each way,
Ooh,
and that was
yeah.
just really wearing on me. And he kept saying like, "Oh, and he had just had major back surgery because he had
That's
fall.
right.
Yeah. Side note, he used to fill oil in the big oil tanks in downtown Phoenix. Like if you drive through downtown Phoenix and you see those big tanks, he
Yeah.
used to do that. And then when he was and they Back then, when he worked there, they never put you in a harness, never tied you to anything, so you were just up there completely free. And
Whoa.
yeah, when he went up there, someone had already filled up the oil tank too much, so the oil had spilt over, and he fell 14 feet and broke
Oh
My
no.
gosh.
more than half the bones in his body. So he pretty much was
Yeah.
not mobile, you know. He had when I had met him, well, we actually used to work together. So I'd already kind of known him, but when I met him and we started like talking and dating, he had just recovered from his surgery. So he was like
Mhm.
walking around but like barely.
Mhm.
And he had moved in to a house with his parents so they could like help him recover because like he couldn't walk for
Mm.
gosh, I don't even know, like a couple months, you know.
Yeah.
So they were basically helping him recover, and then we started talking, and then that commute was getting really long for both of us. And so he's like, "Well, you know, I want to get my own place. Like, why don't you just come in and st like his family at the time had a little bit bigger of a house. So he's like, "Why don't you just come in, stay with me?" He's like, "You could save up money, we could save up money, and then we could get our own place." Like
And
it
then
was
eventually, yes, I remember that.
whatever, why not?
Hmm.
And then yeah, that was the worst idea ever. But that's why, so that's just kind of how everything started. So I already felt kind of so like smothered, I guess, and already like suffocated. Like I already couldn't see my way out of it. So basically, and then COVID happened and all these things, and I'm like, I'm here, have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on in the world. I think I got married when I was 31. I've
Hmm.
always wanted to have kids, still want to have kids, so that has is always top of mind. So I feel like that
Oh,
just kind of took over everything,
yeah.
took over my common sense.
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
all of that crazy stuff happened. And then, but when we got married, I knew deep down and I just always was hoping for the best. Like me, I just always want to see the potential in everyone. I always want to see the best in them, no matter how, toxic they are. I still always want to see the best. So I just kept hoping for the best, hoping for the best. And, that obviously never came about, but I knew when I was gonna get a divorce that I would have to like escape, I guess. I knew I was gonna have to basically leave the house, run away, whatever, because I knew the second that I told him I wanted a divorce that everything would be so much worse than it already was.
Oof.
So yeah, so I was
Just
just trying
terrible.
to come up with a plan and yeah, basically I kept praying every day, how do I get out of this? I have no idea what to do. And he ended
Right.
up getting into a car accident and he ended up getting money from it. And
Getting into a lot of accidents, girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So he ended up getting a chunk of money from it, and we had a shared bank account. And so he, put that money into our shared bank account, and we were talking about what we want to do with it, and he's like, "Well, I just want to pay off our debt." We each had debt individually. I'm like, "Okay," so we had actually come into agreement to pay off this debt, our own debt individually, and then use the rest for whatever savings or I can't remember. And I remember thinking, okay, like somehow this has got to be my way out, you know?
Yeah.
And so I had asked him one day, I said, so I can use X amount of money to pay off my credit card. And he said, yeah. And, but I knew it was always so on and off. He would tell me yes to things and then I would do them or whatever. And then
And
he
be
would,
like,
yeah, it would
flip
be
the
World
script.
War III. I never said that. Why would you effing do that? Blah, 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 blah. So
And that's
I
called
knew that
gaslighting
was
now,
going to be the
right?
thing. Huh?
That's called gaslighting now,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, girl. Yeah. That's, yeah. 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 Yeah.
He was doing it before it was a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100% he was. But, yeah, I remember going to the bank and I told him I'm like I remember when the day came I was like I'm gonna pull out this money from the bank account and put it into my because we had a shared bank account and then we each had our own bank accounts and I have my credit cards coming out of my personal bank account, so I was like I need that cash into my account so I can pay off my credit card. So when the day came and he was going to go to work, I said, I need to borrow the car today, which, he never wanted me to take the car, even though everything was in my name.
I
His
was
name
gonna
has
say,
never
and
been
it
on
was
my car.
your car. I
No,
remember.
yeah, his name has never been anywhere near my car, but that's just another control tactic.
Yes.
So I said, he goes, what do you need the car for? Anytime I need it. What do you need it? Who are you going to see? How long are you going to be there? And then, yeah, side note,
So many
where
questions.
I'm leaving, coming back within those time. Yeah, it was crazy. But so anyways, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bank. I need to pay off these credit cards. And then of course he freaks out. No, you're not gonna, blah, blah, blah. So then I finally talk him into it. He goes, okay, fine. I'm like, you don't even need to worry about it. You're gonna be at work. Like, I'm gonna handle it all. Like, relax. And so he's like, fine, okay. So I take him to work. I go immediately to the bank and I pull out half of the money because I'm a fair biatch. I pulled out
Yes.
exactly 50%, which we already talked about and I already asked him.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and I could have cleared the entire thing and I didn't. Okay.
She's like, this is my escape plan.
Yeah. So I took half of it and then I put it in my bank account. And then then I was gonna think, what am I gonna do here? Like, what's the plan? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I just wanted it in my bank account because he didn't have
Yeah.
access to my bank account.
Thank
So
God.
I put it in my bank account. He comes home, he checks the bank account, sees that half of it's gone, and was like, "What the fuck?" Oh God.
Oh
I said,
no.
I told you this is the whole reason why I borrowed the card today. Told you I was going to go to the bank. Well, I didn't think they'd actually let you go in there and I'm
Are
like,
you kidding
my
me? My
name's
name
on it
is
too. You know what I mean? He goes, well,
Oh.
I thought that they would have to have my authorization because he was like the main account holder. I was like a whatever it's called.
Oh, the sub
Under
holder.
I was the sub
Gotcha.
holder. So he thought in his mind that no matter what, he would still have to sign off or give him the okay or whatever.
What an idiot. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So I'm like, sorry. And so he goes, where's the money? I was like, I already paid the credit card. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
had to tell him I didn't have
It's
it. You know what
gone.
I mean? I was like, I already paid off the credit card, my credit card, like it's done.
Uh-huh.
And oh gosh, it caused craziness. And then, but I still at that point hadn't told him. I mean, I had always like threatened him with a divorce. If you don't like, I'm going to be getting a divorce.
Uh-huh.
Change. And so he knew that, but I had yet to say like, I'm getting a divorce. This is happening. So, because I still had to figure out a plan, because I knew I couldn't tell him while living there.
Right.
Ooh, well,
Ooh.
I had to, my plan didn't go the way I wanted. I had to end up saying something while I was living there. And oh my gosh, I spent the worst 3 months of my life in that hellhole with him,
Ah.
telling him that I'm getting a divorce. But, whatever. Long story short, I end up, sleeping on my girlfriend's couch for 3.5 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
basically booked it, left everything behind. She picked me up, trash bags of my clothes, shoes, and our money
Gone.
and bounce. And she had,
Gone.
but that was after 3 months of
Oh my
already,
torture.
yeah, of extra torture. Um, and I had kept telling him, like, I want it to be amicable. And mind you, like, I had gone through almost 4 years of like traumatic abuse, right? So
Yeah.
I had still told him, I want it to be amicable. I don't want anything from you. You can literally keep everything. I just want a divorce. That's all I want. And then when I had
Mhm.
initially told him, he actually took it surprisingly well. He just like cried, wanted to give me a hug. And then I thought, wow, like he's taking this way better than I thought.
Okay.
I lasted for a day. And yeah, and then he just went to his crazy ways. But yeah, so it was really bad. So when we ended up going through the actual divorce process, I told him I wanted a divorce. He served me divorce papers on Valentine's Day at my job. So
Wait, why did he serve you if you put in the request first?
didn't put in a request first. I had told him I'm getting a divorce and this is happening. But I also
Gotcha.
told him, I want this to be amicable. I don't want it like I wasn't like I'm gonna go right now and get divorce papers. Like I was fine just taking our time processing
Doing
it.
it together.
Yeah, moving accordingly. Like like it.
Gotcha.
Like he decides to go and file and fucking serve me on Valentine's Day. So he served me for
Unbelievable.
Valentine's Day. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, well, okay, here we go.
Let's
You know what I
go.
mean? And so I kept telling him through the whole time I signed, and at that time we were still living together. I signed, I still want this to be amicable. I do too. Okay, perfect. Again, take everything, I don't care. It's not like we had any money or anything, but we had a 3-bedroom house full of brand new
Stuff.
furniture.
Yeah,
So, which he can sell and keep all the money for, you know what I mean?
exactly.
So, yeah. Um, but
Mm.
even through that process and then me getting a divorce, it was, even though it was hell on earth, I still was like, I don't want to have any ill will, you know what
Mhm.
I mean? And then
Yeah.
somehow, it's been 2.5 years now that we've been divorced. Somehow, up until the last like 6 months, he was still finding ways to like fuck with me on things.
That's
You know what I
rough.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
having the Netflix account and Hulu and Prime and all that somehow hooked up to my personal credit card that I didn't realize. Know,
Oh,
stealing the car from me, keeping Armani from me, telling me he's making the car payments and the
and then he
insurance
fucked
for
you on
three to
that.
6 months or however long it was because he felt bad for how he treated me. So he's going to take care of the car so I don't have to worry about it and all of that. Come to find out, you know,
Nothing.
the registration was expired for almost a year. I was driving around for 6 months with no car insurance. When he dropped off the car, because mind you, the car wasn't and is in my name, so like, he
Hmm.
could not pay as long as he wants. He doesn't get fucked for that. I do.
Exactly.
So,
Meanwhile, he's just telling you, "Oh, I'm paying."
uh-huh. Meanwhile, he's lying to me, telling me he's paying it. And then so it was just like even years after, he was still effing me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I still have like hostility. I don't want to, and I do find myself like I don't want to call him names. Like when Britt and I were at dinner the other night, I was like, yeah, douchebag, beep. Well, won't say his name. Um, and I don't want to be like that, but I think it was just like the fact that he still was like traumatizing me, I'm like, is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't have any ill will. I don't wish anything bad upon him. He just clearly was not my person. He's, happily into whatever he's got going on now. So, that's
Ah,
great for him. Good riddance.
yeah. Good
But,
riddance.
for me having such a tumultuous experience with marriage, I feel like a lot of people that would kind of scar a lot of people and scare them away from wanting to get remarried.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it doesn't. I just know that that was not my person. I don't think it has
Mm.
anything to do with, marriage or being together forever or any of that. It just clearly was not meant for me. So like I still want to get married, I still want to
Yeah.
find my person. Um, and Britt, yours didn't quite end as bad as mine did. Do you find yourself still wanting to get married?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I'm in a weird place with all of that, I think, because I did think he was my person.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that I was, oh my God, we're cutting this part out. Oh,
Hey.
um,
My love.
You want me to
yeah,
skip
I
this?
do want to get married again. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's where I'm at. Like, I do think I want that, but I'm also incredibly happy alone, and I've accepted that. Like, if I don't get what I want, I'm not going to settle, and I'm totally okay with being alone forever.
Well, you're not
Which
going to be
you
alone.
won't be.
Yeah, you're going to
You
get what
are
you want.
such a good human being, beautiful soul, the best mama bear. And
Mhm.
I'm so happy for both of you. You guys have been
Yeah,
through a lot.
we
My
have.
two girls.
And I love that both of us still desire to get married. Oh,
Yeah.
now you're
Oh.
gonna make me cry. I'm gonna I'm gonna go to Star because my eyes are watering right now. So speaking of desire to get married, Star, one thing about you is I remember when I met you, you were just like, I mean, you're still such a free spirit, but you were like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. Like, I'm a independent woman. I'm gonna, do my own thing, blah, 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 blah. And then
And
here comes
then,
Paul, and your whole world changed.
so bizarre. So
So I'd love to
bizarre.
hear how that switched and like what happened. Tell us.
Oh my gosh. It's so nuts because I think about that all the time. Like in growing up, and I was going to ask you ladies, like, did you picture yourself? I know, Fal, yes, wanted to like, as we age, get married, have kids, have the beautiful family. But I think because of my background and looking at my parents, my grandparents, just no real long-term marriages there. And then my grandparents had been married two, three times. So I just kind of just like marriage must not be a thing. It doesn't last, it doesn't work. And then my mom, she never remarried. I don't know if she ever wanted to though. But so I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing. And then Paul comes along and I told him, and he still teases me, like, we're gonna be together for at least 7 years. And then once we get there, we'll figure it out. But at a certain point, I just got confident in his love is so, and you guys know him. It's like it's just so pure.
Mm.
I think I was like, we don't need to wait 7 years. At the 4 year mark, I was like, we're good. We can make this. When's it happening? And it just kind of grew into what it was. I did think I was pretty chill planning it though, because I know a lot of people like have all these huge, because I'd never really wanted a
Mhm.
wedding. I didn't even know what to do. So I was like, we'll just be super chill about it and have a big party with our friends and family and call it a day. But
Do you feel like, because you had a decent sized wedding, do you feel like, were you more of like you just wanted to elope? Or do you think like you
mm,
wanted the wedding that you had, or maybe Paul wanted it, so you kind of were like, yeah, let's do this.
if it were up to Paul, he probably would have been like, we can totally elope.
Mm.
But I think once we started the planning, then, and I was looking at venues, then I was getting excited. And
And
then the
yeah, then you're like,
dresses.
okay, I want to do this and this and this.
But they always say weddings are expensive. I had no idea until I was up in it. Like, oh my God, that house, do you want to buy a mortgage or get married? That's a real tough situation. Like, which one do I want?
Do you think looking
Um,
back now, would you still have done that wedding, or would you have been like, we
yeah.
still would have done the wedding?
Yeah, it was so fun. I just love having all my friends, all my family in one place. And then it goes by so quick, right, ladies?
Mhm.
Like you're trying to
Definitely.
talk to everybody. I'm thinking I'm going to be so sloshed by the end of the night. I was like, I barely even had two drinks in because I was talking so much.
So I'm trying
So
to get
fun.
wasted, guys. Stop talking to me.
I know. I do wonder, what do we do with the wedding dresses now, though? Because now it's just literally been sitting in my closet, and I'm like, should I resell it? Because I don't know, I could probably get a little bit of extra cash on that.
Yeah. Can resell it. That's what I did with mine. Actually, Britt was asking me, about
That's
hers.
right.
And yeah, I told her I had, well, I, okay, well, real quick, because I was engaged twice. I was married once, but engaged twice. So my first engagement, we broke up like a month before we were supposed to get married. So I obviously had my wedding dress. So that wedding dress I sold to the store that I was talking to Britt about. But my last wedding dress, I still have in here somewhere, I think. I don't know. So I could probably, but it's really dirty because I got married at the beach,
That's right.
so I don't
Yeah.
know if I would need to like get it cleaned or if I don't know. I would have to figure that out, but mine's
Mhm.
still in a bag somewhere. But you can always, you know,
Mhm.
initially my thought was I wanted to save my dress and make like a blanket or something like for my daughter out of it.
Oh, that's
But this
right.
dress obviously like doesn't have the best juju, so I want her anywhere near it.
She's like, we can burn it, actually.
Yeah.
Write
So,
that
I mean, if I
down.
can get money for it, great. But
Yeah, I mean, my mom, she had hers, and I actually tried it on for our wedding, and I was like, it's a little, 1990, but that's okay. Thanks, Mom. So I'm just like, mine's gonna sit in the closet for 30 years and do what?
yeah.
No, it was but it is pretty. But the designs are going to be different. I will say my dentist actually, well, his sister was telling me that for her grandbabies, they took pieces of like all the moms and the grandmas, I think, in the family and built a blanket like you were saying and like had
Mhm.
a little piece of everyone in there from their wedding
Oh,
dresses.
I love
I
that.
thought that was so sweet. And then I was like, well, if I give
It's,
mine away, I won't be able to do that. But
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
don't, I think when I am obsessed with my wedding dress, like,
yeah.
and she was expensive. So
Yeah. So
I'm
like
like,
arm and a leg.
thanks to my mom for buying that for me. Um,
Oh, your mom's so
and
sweet.
I imagined I would just wear it whenever I wanted around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there was like a time or two where I did. Um, and I have not looked at it once since we've separated,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. But I also like just again, it's one of those things like I give it away and then that's great. Like it just sounds crazy to me. However, since I do want to get married again, I feel like it wouldn't be right of me to bring my wedding dress with me everywhere I go. This is my emotional support wedding dress.
Yeah, literally. Oh.
But I think it's just difficult overall because almost everything about that was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
my where I got married was a dream, my dress was my dream, like all of that.
Hmm.
So that's why I think in part I'm okay with never like being married again because I already like had my dream.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
totally.
I feel like I can create a new dream, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it's even better because that person is hopefully my person for real.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the dress, like, I was gonna get it cleaned, and then I guess you could get it. I don't know what they call it, but it's kept basically. So they create a box, they spray it, I think, with something to help it from like falling apart or like just lasting forever, essentially. Um,
Oh.
and then you get a nice fancy box for it and all that stuff. So I was originally gonna do that. But again, since I haven't touched it. So in the wedding dress bag and would sell it. I would probably also get quite a few $1,000s probably for it.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say
Would
those
be
dresses.
surprised at actually how little you would get for your dress. I'm just gonna
Oh, for the
don't tell me
resale?
put that out there. So that might even change your mind because if you take your dress and they tell you what you pay for it, you're probably gonna be like, absolutely not. I'd rather keep it.
that.
Bummer.
Yeah, just
Below
side note.
2,000, no.
Oh
They'd
man.
say below 2,000.
Hmm.
But you could also sell it like privately.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. You would get more money that way, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, yeah, if you're not going to get anything, even donating it. Are there any homeless people getting, or should I say, what's the new word
Are
for?
there any
We're not supposed to,
homeless
we're
people?
not supposed to say that anymore. I think like
Really?
unhoused. Yeah, we're supposed to say
Unhoused.
Oh,
unhoused.
okay.
They
Unhoused. Okay,
they
good.
want to get married too.
No,
They can have
keep it.
mine. How about that? They can have mine.
What are some like wedding type day traditional things that you guys think are super like controversial? Like some gals feel like they have to have it, and some gals feel like, oh, I don't care. Like for me, I think one of the things was you know how you have the little girls doing the flowers?
hmm
I did not have that.
I did. I had my best friend's daughter do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's a
Mine was
must
better.
or no?
I didn't like have a normal wedding, but my
Oh,
daughter
that's so
did
sad.
do the petals. Yeah,
Oh, see, there you go.
I do like
I didn't have a normal wedding either.
What
So,
about an open bar? Do you guys think
oh.
we need an open bar or you should pay for your own drinks?
we did an open bar.
Yeah, so did we. We actually had to return some alcohol. I thought my family was gonna drink way more.
Did you provided your own, didn't you? Didn't you guys go to Costco or no? Am I tripping?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
okay.
And
That's the
then
way to go.
uh-huh, it was a Costco trip, and our friend who was in the wedding, he actually took care of all of it. So then when we returned half of it, we were like, "This is going back on your card. We got a little too much." I think we spent like 2 grand on booze.
Wait, Val, did you do a whole wedding?
I did. Well, we got married during COVID, so we got the COVID wedding package. That was literally what it's called.
Oh
Beautiful.
my.
Um, but it was for 35 people and under. I didn't even like want to have a wedding. I was just fine, just like eloping, getting married, just whatever.
Oh,
He has a big family. Like I don't have family at all. So he has a
yeah.
big family. So I did that for him. I just was like
Mm.
everything else in the relationship. Just if this is what you want, sure. So he wanted his whole family to see him get married, all that.
Oh, yeah.
But we did get married at the beach, which is what I wanted.
Hmm.
Um, and then I look back and I'm like, I still want to get married at the beach, but then I'm like, is that tarnish? But then I thought about it and I was like, no, it's not because we actually didn't end up getting married on the sand, which is what I wanted. We ended up getting married on a cliff that overlooked the beach. So I'm like, okay, so I
Yeah.
can still have my feet in sand wedding that I want. Um, but
Yes.
yeah, so it was basically I literally had two friends there. I had Star there with Paul, and then I had my best friend from San Diego, Jenna, who had her two kids. So
Mm.
her daughter do the flowers. So for
Mm.
me, so the flower question, it's not a must for me. It was just more sentimental for me because she was my best friend growing up and like
Oh,
she had a
your
little daughter.
baby.
So of course I would want, so I got her a little basket with her name on it and like petals and
Yeah.
yeah, and then Armani was the ring bearer of
So cute.
or he was the best man, I should say. I got him a thing that said best man, like a bandana that said best man on it, a little tux. So he was in that.
Mhm. So
So
cute.
that was definitely a non-negotiable. So for me, it was like the beach, somewhere by it at least, and then Armani being in it were like basically my two non-negotiables. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you know what I do find is I so when it comes to writing the vows, right? I did not write my vows until I was in the chair getting my hair and makeup done. And everybody in there was like, I mean, it was mostly his family, but they were like, "You're just now writing your vows, blah blah blah." And deep down, I'm like, "Well, yeah, because I don't really jot something together on paper as bad as that." But I mean, at the time, they were very thoughtful, you know. But
Yeah.
I
They
thought about it and I was like, is this weird that I'm like just now writing them? And I thought maybe it was just because of my specific situation and my relationship with him. But then I like started asking around and asking other people, and they were like, no, I didn't write mine till day of too. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's not
Girl, I didn't even
right.
write mine at all. I'd
Okay,
like
okay.
totally free balls. I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't have time for that. Love you, baby. I'm just gonna spit, fire, shoot.
But Britt, did you what did you do with your vows?
I wrote mine in advance because I had one of our friends translate it into Spanish for me.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
But we didn't say vows out loud. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I gave him his vows and he read it in Spanish.
Oh, okay, got you.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
because
his vows he did the day of.
oh, okay.
Like he's just not like an emotional person. So I felt like I was like reading like a contract. Like, okay, this tracks about how you talk in life. So that's good.
More logical because what's his sign?
He's a Virgo.
I knew it. I
Oh,
fig
wait,
that's
what
right.
month is his
Virgo.
birthday?
September.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Virgo,
I
September.
am
I
weak.
remember
How
that
did I
now.
not know that until right now? That is crazy. You know, my ex-husband is a September Virgo.
Oh gosh.
But Capricorn and Virgos are supposed to get along very well.
Really?
And we
Huh.
do. Well, male Virgos and I do. And then it's iffy with a female Virgo,
It's
which
50-50 on that,
Yeah.
huh?
I have like two very close female Virgo girls. And then
Mhm.
I have some Virgo girls that I'm like,
Yeah.
but with most Virgo men that I get along very well with them. But yeah, he's very logical. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was a Virgo. I was like trying to remember. That tracks.
What's the day of his birthday?
The 15th.
Okay. You're like, please don't tell me those two were born on the same day. That'd be crazy.
What day is his birthday?
The 21st.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Those
yeah, yeah,
old
yeah.
Virgos. Did you do like how did you guys do pictures? Did you do like a first look, Britt? Or
No, that was so hard. Because we were all in the same Airbnb. We got an Airbnb right off the coast. It was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that place was gorgeous. Um, so they left first. The men left first, got there, walked them down this muddy ass hill because it rained
Ooh.
the day before. Like, I don't know, Ireland's very rainy. And we had like we got snow on that trip. We got rain. And so
Oh my
the day
God.
of the wedding actually was sunny. And I was like, praise
oh,
be.
Ay, ay, ay.
But everything was muddy, obviously. So we had to like walk down this super steep cliff, and then they made him, and then he's standing on like this mound cliff. That's where we got married, like on a little mound cliff. And he
Hmm.
had to face away the whole time. And the guy that was reading the thingy, I don't know what that's called.
Mm, what
The
thing?
Not a past, he wasn't a pastor because we're not religious.
Minister?
No, just
Oh, that like the head man.
remember that. Yeah, that guy.
Wait, he's not called he's not
Well,
called
they could be called those things, but we didn't hire a religious
officiant.
officiant. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So we did that. So the officiant was facing, but he was making sure that he was faced away. And then my daughter went first. She did the flowers on the, ground, and then my dad walked me up. So it was those were the pieces that I still wanted was my daughter doing the flowers and my dad walking me up and
Mhm.
my mom being there for the wedding dress put on.
Mm,
So thank
pretty.
God they could come. She was like dying, actually. So I'm glad she's still alive. Um, really sick, and she still came all the way over to Ireland for me. So
Oh.
that was really nice. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, then we did also then a knot tying, which is more like a traditional Irish thing.
Mhm.
But I wanted that because again, like I think there was in our words that the officiant had us repeat. I think it was something religious, but again, like I'm not very religious, so that the I asked for it to be like very specific.
Is your
Mm,
ex
okay.
religious or no?
No,
No, okay.
no. So um and then we tried to have people on like live, but we couldn't figure that out.
Oh.
Some people, and then no one could hear us anyway because we didn't have like it wasn't for everyone. It was just literally like an elopement with just my family.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, so that's why it's kind of weird. Like we did do a reception. So the wedding was like me, and the reception was also me, but also a little bit more him. Like and it was prior to getting married. So we weren't even married when we did the reception.
Hmm.
And he's like a big Top Gun guy. He has his pilot's license, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So
Mhm.
Top Gun is his favorite movie. So we had to enter into that Top Gun song. What is that? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I'm weak.
Danger Zone. And he had
Oy.
like a pilot suit on, right? And he like takes it off and it's all, I'm like, okay. Like that was for him.
That is so
That
fun.
was the party about it. And we did the cake thing too. The only thing I'd say like that I think is weird and I wasn't a fan of is like the garter thing. So we didn't do any
Mm, I agree.
Okay, yeah. The garter part was a bit well, actually, because when I didn't realize that Paul was taking classes to do a whole dance in front of everyone to do the garter, so that was a surprise. I was like, oh, and then I forgot to wear the garter. So he just had to pretend like he got one. And I was like, oopsies, I didn't worst,
Are you like
I'm the
trying to
worst
tell him like
wedding.
I didn't wear the garter?
Yeah,
Like
I was like, it's not the worst planner ever. But it all turned out okay. I love that we each had like three very different, beautiful locations. We got the beach in San Diego, Ireland. I just wanted this desert, gorgeous mountain backdrop. So, ladies, gosh, I could talk marriage with you all day.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah.
Real quick, I just want to touch on honeymoons because most people are like, oh, we'll get married and then go straight to the honeymoon. And I know for me, again, we were getting married during COVID, and then our honeymoon was going to be in Bali. We had that whole plan, and then
Oh, I forgot
Mhm.
about
And then
that.
COVID happened, so we couldn't end up, leaving, going
Right.
out of the country. So we kind of, our hands were tied with that. And then once everything kind of started loosening up, and it was loosening up in Mexico before anywhere else. And I am such a Cabo girl. I've been 100 times, and it's just easy and quick. And then so we ended up, I think, like a year later when things were like starting to open up. We still, when we went, we still had to do the COVID testing here and there before we, came back into the country and vice versa. So we just ended up settling with Cabo, but I love Cabo, so it is.
Yes,
But
that's so fun.
yeah, and then sorry, no, your honeymoon was a while after as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we wanted to save up a bit more to do the whole Bali experience. So we went to Disneyland for like 3 days. And then they still had like COVID type, even back in 2022, they had COVID type experiences where you would buy, I think, the 2 or 3 day package, and then they would tell you like when you could go or something like that. But then we finally went to Bali in 2024, so 2 years after. It was so fun, so beautiful. I
How about
loved
you,
it.
Britt?
We went right away because we were already over there. So we went from Ireland to Switzerland and we spent a few days in Switzerland. And then we took the train from Switzerland to Italy. And then we were in Italy for a week.
Oh,
Gorgeous. She's
great.
all Kardashian it up over
Yeah,
there.
I
Let
know.
me just go to Europe for my wedding. Talk
Yeah.
about getaway wedding. What do they call them? Destination
Destination
wedding.
wedding. Yeah, destination wedding goals, Brits. For
Yes.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
whatever happens next, got to top that, obviously.
yeah,
So
poor man who's ever next in your life. He's gonna have some high expectations here with the
Well,
wedding.
I did tell Paul, on our 10-year anniversary, if we want to have another wedding and just make it even bigger with more people, I want a longer train. That's one thing I will say I skimped on because of money cost. I wanted a long train, and I was like, how much? No. But for the next reunion one, yes,
There
we're
you
getting
go.
the long ass train.
what's funny that you say that is I do think it has a lot to do with the dress because of course I got my dream dress, but I also wanted a skirt over it. So I had a princess look and then could take it off and have that look.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I would do it again just of the skirt.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people they change 2 or 3 times on their wedding day. And
Mhm.
again, I'm like, no, this dress costs so much money. I'm wearing it all night long. I
Yeah.
will
Do you
be
guys
in.
think that's necessary or
Mm-mm.
I
Well,
don't listen, we're going above and beyond next time, Helen. So yes,
okay,
it's
okay, you're
just
right.
I was gonna say for the reunion, I'll probably do the 2, 3 outfits just because I'll have the money in the bank then.
Yeah.
But for that first one, I was like, oh hell no, let me save an extra 5, 10K.
Just depends on your budget then, yeah, what you're willing to spend.
What do you think, Val? Is it the 2, 3 outfit thing?
I think it depends on honestly the wedding dress. Like if your
Mm.
dress is like maybe so tight or you can't really move or sit in it or let
Ah.
alone dance or whatever, then yeah, maybe have something that's like a little bit more comfortable for you or fits a
Hmm.
little nicer. But like for Brit, like Britt said, I loved my dress. So I like there wasn't anything else that I would be like, oh, I need to put this on instead of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
also it was a small wedding and so it was
Mhm.
like it wasn't really needed for that. And my dress was really comfortable anyways. And yeah, I didn't
So
want
was
to
mine. It was comfy. It was beautiful. It was expensive. We're
yeah.
wearing this for the next 5 hours.
Yes.
Can
Yeah, you
I
don't want to
sleep
get
in this?
yeah.
Well, gals, I
Um,
appreciate this convo. Yes, girl,
yeah.
what you know?
As
Mhm.
we wrap up, Star, I just want to ask you, because Britt and I are divorced, you are still married. What are
Yeah.
some tips that you can give the girlies that help you, push through your marriage and
Mm. That's such a good question because you guys know there are the ups and then there are the downs, right? So, gosh. I think I think the biggest thing I've learned when we do have like those little lulls where I've learned marriage is like treating it like a business per my therapist, which when it comes to my business, I'm like, okay, point A, point B, let's plan to the T.
Mhm.
But I think what I've learned is like planning is really necessary. And so really trying to figure out like with us and how we spend our time when we're going to be together, when we're going to have our solo date nights. And then we're getting better at communicating when am I going to have my solo girl time because I do want both. So that's big for us.
Mhm.
But really treating it like a business, I think, and just what would be something else? I think well, Paul's probably better at this than me, but just asking good questions and doing those check-ins. Because if it's not in my phone, I'll forget. So I actually have a reminder, like check in, make sure we're still on the same page. We're still hitting goals that we want business wise,
Mhm.
family wise. And that's, I think, been a game changer, especially in 2025 as a reminder.
I love that.
Those two things have helped me. we're only in November will be year 3 celebrating. So we're right now focused on like trying to buy a new house, and go from there, girl. But
Awesome.
yeah. So how about you guys? And even though, yes, you're divorced, you've got some tips. I know you do.
I actually really like what you said. Like, I don't know how to say it in so many words. The communication that you guys have, the check-in, I think that is so important.
Yes.
Because there's just, you could get really complacent in a
Mm.
relationship, a long-term relationship. You could just start to, everything is just robotic. You just do the same thing every day in and out. You're not really talking or opening up about your feelings, and you're kind of just letting them slide because you're so used to this or that. So like checking in, I think is really, really important. And communication for me will always be like, it has to be top notch. Like we have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to tell me what you want, and you have to be able to hear what I want. You know?
Mm. That part where you have to also hear it and what I'm trying to say too.
Yeah.
It's, I'll be
I
rushing Paul sometimes. I'm like, come on, babe. He takes the longest pauses to process his thoughts. Let's go, boo.
He's building suspense.
Hmm.
literally cliffhangers.
What were
Yes.
you gonna say, Val?
No, I just, yeah, everything you ladies said, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Communication and checking in are definitely top tier. So I think that's perfect advice.
And
Mm.
never stop being curious about each other. I strongly believe this saying that's like never stop dating. Like
Dating.
Yeah.
I believe that the honeymoon phase can last forever. I mean,
Mhm.
not in like
The right
Mm.
person.
yeah, but in it, not in that like, oh, big, like we're going on a trip, that kind of thing. Like, I love you so much, blah, blah. But because life happens and you guys are gonna have to face life together. But I think that it can be that fun and light and flirty forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. There's
exactly.
that 222 rule or whatever. I mean, I don't quite agree with it. I would want it more frequently than what they're saying, but they're saying basically
Hmm.
have a date night every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Every 2 months, like have a small like getaway weekend trip or whatever, and then every 2 years have like a big lavish like vacation. But ideally, obviously,
Wow.
4 vacations and one every 2.
Charlie, 111.
Yeah, 111. Yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
one, yeah, exactly. I'm more of a 111 girl myself. So,
Same. We'll
but I
make
do
our
think
own
that,
rule.
yeah, exactly. So
111.
that's what I was just gonna say. Whatever works for your partner, find out what works. Use that communication and see, what you guys are both needing. And I think it's great to come up with a plan like, yeah, 111. That way you stick to it,
Mhm.
dating and learning each other and
And Paul's really great with, keeping things curious and fun and mixing things up. He got us this little booklet where and I think you guys have seen it, where you like almost have to like scratch things off. Well, you pick like a day or time, and then you pick.
I don't want to
Where
talk
he's like,
about
oh
that
no,
book.
I've done this before with a certain someone. But yeah, you pick like, do you want day or night? What's your budget? One, two, or $3 signs. And then do you want to be indoor or outdoor? And what time, what season is it? So based on what you want, you pull out a card and then the card matches and it has like this random thing, but you have to, I think, go to the website and then figure out what you're doing. And then it's like this fun surprise date night. It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
That. And I
Yeah.
feel like you and Paul are so good with date nights. I feel like you guys always have date nights.
Yeah, we try every weekend. It's
Yeah.
mostly, yeah, he's very creative because I'll be like, I can't think of anything to do. And then next thing you know, we're roller skating at a botanical garden and
Having a picnic,
with our girl Britt
having your heat.
and a
Yeah.
picnic.
With me,
But
the
yes.
adopted one.
Well, I love you ladies. I can't wait to celebrate Val's birthday soon. Two
Yeah.
more weekends.
No,
Two more
two
weekends.
more, 2 weeks from today. Exactly, actually.
Yay.
Yeah, that's crazy. It doesn't feel like it, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
August hits, then I'll be like, okay.
Well, ladies, please don't forget to like, follow, message us, DM us on Instagram, but rate our podcast, please. We're so grateful you're listening, and we hope to meet you in person someday.
Yes. Until next time.
Yeah.
Time.
Bye.
Bye.